I had a purpose before everybody had an opinion. It's not about anybody else. I know y'all like that one.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Howie, get it done.
Flock up or flock off, not you. You stick around, cause it's going down. Let's keep the maniac thing, y'all. Please like and subscribe. It's about that Fly Eagles Fly. Drop a comment in that box if you flying with the flock. Let's fly. And do remember, join that maniac thing. Know the gang. You hit that bell, you get a bang whenever I'm on this YouTube thing. The maniac thing is the maniac thing. Let's keep the main thing before we get into anything. Hope this video finds you in good vibes, good tides. If you're not there, I hope this helps you get there, because we about to go there. Oh yeah, you now flock with the most energetic entity in the Eagleverse. You already know, man. So when we just gonna throw a few things in the flock pot. This is draft week, you know. What we got for the flock pots. Let's check it out. We just gonna throw some things in the pot, chop it up, throw it on the table, and you consume it how you deem fit. You know how we do around this time, about this time, at this time. So first thing in the flock pots, we gonna flock with number one, this draft sucks. And probably not for the reasons that you think. We're gonna get into that. And Howie, we're gonna break it down, get into the Howie and Sirianni press conference, a few observations I got from there. What else for this flock pot? Matt Patricia. A few observations on that. Forgot to get in that last time, you know what I'm saying, before we got into this thing. And you know what else, man? This is what everyone's talking about out here, man. This Derrick Henry things. Like, and Bijan, right? Like, we gonna get into all this, man. First off, man, this draft sucks, bro. Just get straight to it, bro. What the flock? I didn't even notice this until, like, I'm looking at it today. You know, I'm hyped. Talking to Many Maniacs. Many Maniac got this. It's crazy in the nest today. Anyway, so me and Many Maniac, you know what I'm saying, on the way to school, He's like, yo, Dad. It's only like 3 days away. I'm like, 4 days. 3 days. We're only 3 days away from the draft, right? So I'm looking at it, Like, this draft, y'all, is in Kansas City. And I feel like I knew this. I thought just Travis and Jason were having some type of event there for just the sake of having an event there, draft week. And like, I didn't put one and one together for whatever reason. It was just like, it was off my, I don't know. I was spending, you know what I'm saying, a minute. Just like that, there's a draft. But Kansas City, bro, like, So we're going to have to contend with that. We're going to see all these Kansas City jerseys and Kansas City fans going crazy, man. Like, just get it out. I mean, you know, it's been a dope offseason so far, so good and all that. It's one game. We're over it, right, y'all? I think we're fully over. I think I went through all the stages of the grief and all that. Like, I think we're good. I still think there should be a 3-game Super Bowl series, man. There should be a Super Bowl series. Like, yeah, I'm still bargaining. I don't think I'm over it yet. So, yeah, man, I'm just excited about that. You know, being at the draft is in Kansas City. We're going to have to contend with watching these Mama Flockers like, Shout out to all the Mama Flockers, Papa Flockers, Flaquitos y Flaquettes, y Flaquitas and Flaquitos, Flockers and Flaquettes out there in the Eagleverse, man. Flock up or flock off, man. Thanks for flocking up, man. I'm loving it, man. The energy that's coming back this way from everybody in the flock, the Eagleverse, Eagle Gang, Bird Gang, and all of that. So dope. So we got that. The draft is in KC. Tight about that. I'm still hyped about this number 10 and 30 pick. I might get into a little flock mock later in the week, man, because, you know, we was listening to Howie. So let's get right into it. So in this observations of this press conference, right? So, you know, a lot of people are looking deep into it, looking further into it than what it is. I mean, he told us, you know, everyone's picking up the words like, you know, he said he kept saying, we got to go with him when he says this. I mean, it is what it is. He's looking for a unique talent in the first round. It's just the fact that a lot of people are equating that with we're getting Bijan, bro. And his all this counter anti-Bijan stuff that I'm talking, bro, I know it only means that we're probably going to end up with Bijan. Like, just because this is the way that the offseason is going for me. Except for the Jalen Hurts contract. I got that OD right there and hit that thing on the head, baby. But everything else, man, it's been a mess. Like, and since the Super Bowl, like, we're winning. There's no way we're not winning. I'm doing the numbers, breaking it down. Everything's adding up to us winning the damn Super Bowl. And it didn't work out. And then I said we had to keep Malo. I said we're definitely keeping CJ GJ. And it's just been complete. When I'm zigging, they zagging. It's been all over the place, but definitely hit on that Jalen Hurts thing. Enough of that. So the Bijan thing. I can't see us spending it. Come on, y'all. Like, come on, Eagleverse, man. Flock, Bird Gang, Eagles Nation, y'all. Like, this, a running back with your number 10 pick, a running back that you might have, 5, maybe 6 years the most? This is number 10 pick. Like, dogs, when you think about it, we're talking about the Lane Johnson of the world who's been here 10 plus years. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the Brandon Grahams, number 12, number 13 pick, 10 plus years. Fletcher Cox, 10 plus years. Like, we want guys to stick around, running backs. I get it, man. It's a shiny toy. It's so dope. You're looking at guys like the Saquons of the world, has done nothing. I mean, let's stick with Saquon for a second. Saquon at Penn State, damn near made that team damn near national championship contender. You feel me? Ezekiel Elliott won national championships. Like, I mean, there's a lot of great players around these guys and all that. But I mean, we know Ohio State is perennial. So Ezekiel Elliott is a bit of a stretch, but he's phenomenal. And some people are saying that he was better than Bijan Robinson coming out. And if I can't get something better than Ezekiel Elliott, what am I doing with this 10 pick? Not Bijan Robinson. Back to Saquon. Penn State, I mean, they're up there, but the way they were with Saquon changed that team. And I say that to say this, that Bijan Robinson did nothing to Texas sucks, bro. What are we talking about? The two top teams that he played, TCU and Alabama, he was buns, bum sauce, bum juice. And you know what? When he comes here, if he comes here, I'm going to be complete 100%, 1,000,000,000% in this corner. But I'm not philosophically us, what we do, man, it doesn't make sense. If those guys that are getting paid the big bucks to do the big things, then they see something I don't see, by all means, go get this, man. But, like I said, man, I'm not the biggest college fan in the world, so I haven't seen tons of tape on him. I'm just knowing what I hear. See, when you say like that, it doesn't sound like... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe y'all know something I don't know out there, man. But I can't fly with it, man. That bird don't fly. Like, number 10 pick, if the 30 pick, he's still around, cool, by all means. I mean, I really don't want to pick a running back there. I'm down with the second round pick, third round pick, more so as far as picking a running back, man. You find these guys, and I don't want to downplay the running back position of what those guys do. But I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day, man. And that brings us into this, because I will get into the Patricia thing in a sec. But, if we're talking Bijan, then we're talking Derrick Henry at the same time. I just don't think right there, I don't think we're snatching Bijan up. And I don't even know how I got here, because we spent into from, so it was the Howie presser, Howie and Sirianni. And from what he said, just from what he's saying, but the main thing he said, keeping the main thing that he said is like, no one out there knows what I'm going to do. Shit, he probably don't even know what he's going to do. Until it pops up, until you see how that draft board plays out, we can sit there. He said he doesn't talk to other GMs, no execs, doesn't talk to people at the soccer game, the baseball game, little league, whatever. He's not talking to nobody. Nobody knows except for a small group of people within the inner workings of the Philadelphia organization who know where they're headed. And like I said, man, you never know how this draft board will break down, what's going on, what's going to happen. We don't know. He did one dope thing. He did hint at trading picks. It was a bit of a joke, though. He spoke to he said, we got 6 draft picks and like 12 draft picks next year, but probably by the end of this draft it'll probably be 2 next year. And he laughed, but no one got the joke. He's like, no one laugh, like, you know what I'm saying? So it definitely, and I'm surprised I haven't seen more stories on that when he said that. Because once again it was probably just a joke, just the way he said it, that wry grin. I don't know, like, ooh, it's like, what is he? Is he working on something? That's another thing that I have been leaning towards, and a lot of other Eagle entities, personalities, content creators, have been thinking as much the same. So I'm not singular in this approach and thinking that the Eagles will take this approach as far as trading, using some of their capital from the next draft for this draft. So I can definitely see that. I definitely hope that, because having only 6 picks, It's not that many picks, and we have a lot of holes to fill after losing a lot of guys. I mean, I do feel like Howie's done a great job in free agency of like hogging some of these holes, but you never know, things can happen. You're always going to need depth, at the end of the day. So, I definitely are going to be playing a little bit with those picks. Another thing I noticed in this presser, bro, Howie got hands. Did you see it, bro? He catches the what was the Aquafina water bottle, one hand, caca. He looked at Nick. Nick didn't even notice, man. He was heartbroken. You saw it in Howie's eyes, like, look what I did, coach. Put me in, coach. You know what I mean? So it looked crazy. Like, just the rapport that those two dudes have, man, is dope. I don't know if it's just for the cameras, but it seems like it's a real good energy that they got going on. Like, you could cast these dudes in a buddy flick the way Howie and Nick flock together. Like, it's just dope. It's good to see that you have that type of chemistry within your building. It goes from the top down, from Jeff Steban Laurie to Howie busting the stupid dope moves to Nixon Sirianni, just, and down to Jalen Hurts, like, and they spoke on that, signing him, like, we had to get him, we had to lock him up, we knew it was a thing, and one of the big things that everyone's harping on is Nick Sirianni saying that, we didn't pay him more for him to do less, which is just like, I can't wait, just like, oh, man, like, rip the seal off of that, man. Like, Jalen Hurts proved in that Super Bowl, bro. He can make any throw. He can make any run. He's this dude. He is like, because he is the system, the ultimate weapon type-ish. He is the system. Cars drive by with the boom. Birds fly by with the booming system type-ish. Like, I'm just like, can't wait for this draft. Can't wait for this season. I mean, how many months away? Like, here, I'm already in that mode, dogs. And you see it's still a little bit cold out here. So, throwing these jackets back on, man. Throwing these jackets back on. So got a little nipply real quick. You know what I'm saying? So you got Jake Howie trading picks. Was it a joke? Just the report that they have catching the ball, and Howie looking at Nick, is it cool? Did you see my catch? Ha 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 ha. And then just while Howie's talking, I'm looking at Nick. Nick looks like his kids look when he's talking on the first. Like, you see like the embodiment of his children right there, just like where they get it from. Like, this is an antsy dude, just can't stop moving, looking around, trying to bust jokes. These dudes are busting jokes on that stage. People are talking and asking questions. They're having their own chill side time. Like, it's just I love the energy that these two bring to this organization, man. But oh damn, I wanted to get into that. Oh man, I forgot. There's a little bit of I don't know if y'all noticed this in the New Heights podcast last week. Like, Jason says something that was a funny, and I broke it. I talked about the joke real quick a little bit last week, but before we get into that, just you've got let's do it right now. So just a quick little sidebar. We're gonna go inside the Modern Maniac, and then we'll get back to that. Did you see Jason Kelce said something about Jehovah's Witness? One of the people comment on this, his name was something like Jehovah's Witness or some shit. It was a different type of name, but it lended him to speak on Jehovah's Witnesses on the door. And he was like, I just don't, something rubs him the wrong way about people trying to save him. And that, when I initially heard it, it was just funny, tongue in cheek. And he said he didn't know why he said it. He just said it because it's funny. I don't believe he's an anti. Like, I'm not gonna get into his religious beliefs or anything. Anybody else like that, don't want to offend anybody, but. It was just funny the way he said it, and let me just say, he's one of the funniest people. He's just one of the greatest people in the world. Jason Kelce cracks me up, gives me energy, all of that, from the speech on, like, since we drafted him, just love Jason Kelce is the man, right? But when he said that, said, let me to remember, Carson Wentz, and I don't know, this is just speculation. I don't know if it's a fact, but I think it's true, So, Carson Wentz, was he the dude in the locker room trying to impress his religious beliefs on the players? Because I don't know if you know like I know, man. And if you don't know, you need to know. There's just a few things you don't bring them in the workplace. Religion, politics, and that man's what? Now, you know what I mean? You don't do, these are things you don't do. So is this something that he was leaning to, like, and he just a little crack in the armor, because he's usually tightened up, buttoned up. You know what I mean? Jason Kelce ain't really talking to his trash about people, but maybe it's something. Maybe it's a subconscious thing. You know what I mean? Maybe he doesn't even know it. But just don't like people trying to save him. Was Carson Wentz walking around that locker room trying to save people? Rubbing people the wrong way? Who knows? I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a fact. Just feel like it's true. Just want to throw it out there, man. What y'all think? Leave it in the comments. I ain't trying to, like I said, nothing against anyone's religious beliefs. I'm not going to impose mine upon you. Please leave. Unless, outside of work, we're talking, we cool, friends, family type things. Of course. Let's talk it up. Let's chop it up. Let's throw it on the table. Break it down. Consume how you deem fit. I'm with all of that. But I don't know. The workplace is different, man. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so back to the Nick and Howie pressing, and people speculating that he's leaning towards Bijan by making that unique comment. I'm thinking you could apply that to anybody. Jalen Carter is a unique talent. Like, this guy's crazy. I saw somebody posting YouTube earlier, like, what's your draft crush right now? Jalen Carter. I want Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter's one. I mean, just imagine Jalen Carter, and Jordan Davis in that middle. What? This is not no what. We're done. What up? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It would just be crazy, right? So you got Jalen Carter. I'm loving Kalijah Cansey. Just to talk, like I said, once again, I don't watch too much of this, but just to talk coming out about this kid seems like a good kid. He's versatile, which we love. And that's what I lean more towards when how he's talking unique. You know what I mean? Like, people can interpret it in different ways and how they see it breaking down. We usually try and get Swiss Army knife type dudes, guys that we can put in multiple places, similar to what Hoodie Bill does all the time. And I mean, that's probably why the whole Matt Patricia thing is just wild. And we'll get into that in a second. But anyway, so you can apply unique to a whole bunch of players in this draft. You could say Brian Branch? You could say he's unique. That was my first draft crush. Like, that's the dude as far as safety goes. But almost another things happen in free agency. You got the Tyree Wilson. I haven't seen too much of him. It scares me that he's a defender coming from, I believe, Big 12. That's a highly offensive conference. But, if we have a defensive standout in the offensive conference, that's saying something, something to look into. Who else? You got the Jalen Carters. You got the Will Andersons. Like, if this dude was a drop, could you see how he moving up? So many things could happen, man. I got to flock around with a little mock a little bit later in the week. And, so, yeah, that unique tag could be applied to so many different people, more so than Bijan, at least in my opinion. But, like I said, if I'm anti-Bijan, that means he's probably on his way here, and I will be the biggest Bijan fan in the world, rocking a 5 hat. I got 5 on it. You know what I'm saying? Going hard. Yeah, I seen man, like, these Eagle content creators are so dope. You got Lord Brunson with the Hurt season hats. I got an idea for him, man. He needs to lock that down. There's money to be made on that. And your boy, Snap, the 500 with the draft 5 hats. He's going hard for that, like going stupid hard for that. But, who knows? Anything can happen. Like how he said, no one knows what can happen. No one knows what these people are thinking, man. If they know something I don't know about that Bijan thing, by all means, go ahead, do what you do, man. It just doesn't seem financially viable to me. And as a draft competition, it's just wild. None of these top guys are doing. All right, into this Matt Patricia thing, man. What y'all think, man? So, after the Super Bowl loss, after the Super Bowl appearance, you feel, I don't want to say you feel like you've arrived, but other people's egos operate in different ways. Like, Jalen Hurts is not the guy that strikes me as being like, yo, got there, did that, check, boom, da-da-da. Like, I hear he's like back in the gym, he's going crazy. He had a metal in his foot, he got that taken out. Like, so you're telling me this guy was playing like that with that, man? He could get even freakier if you ask me. Like, what? Like, the moves we see next year might be nuts. I don't know if having a metal plate restricts you, if at all, but you know what I mean? I like to throw that out there because I'm all about this optimism, man. The cup is full, motherfuckers. So, boom, you got that. And he's going to do what he needs to do. But then, coaches who knows these guys may have egos. Maybe, you're feeling yourself. You're like, I got this. And maybe you're thinking you anything you touch turns to gold now. Maybe you have that mind state. You're going to, maybe you're in desperation mode and you just feel you got to do whatever you got to do to get over that hump, to get this Super Bowl win. You know what I'm saying? Which is what you want people to do, but do anything is relative. You know what I mean? There are things that you could do that you're thinking you're doing for your team that could be actually hindering your team. Much like this Patricia pickup, man. So in his hunger and our organization's hunger, and Nick Sirianni, he's the head coach, right? So it's basically, this is his decision. I believe he's the final decision maker as far as it goes to acquire these coaches, right? So he's sitting there like, I will do anything to get over this hump and win this Super Bowl. And in his mind, and most of our minds, we feel like the defense let us down. So in your desperation, because we know what his core values are for this Philadelphia Eagle football team. You know, when I'm one of the ones that I harp on, one of the ones that I attach to the most is that connection core. You know what I mean? And you saw that all over the locker room last year, because I do feel like, a lot of people say, success is the real rapport. Probably is at the end of the day. But, prior to you on that field playing those games, you got to have a good rapport in that locker room. And I know people are going to say you don't have to like who you work with. You just have to work well with who you're working with. I got you. I just feel like that connection thing means a lot. And I mean, if we really have that as one of our core values, and we really harp on that, we saw the results last year, if it's really what's going on in that locker room. So you're going to interject a Matt Patricia, somebody that you know, Matt Patricia, and one of your top players, one of your captains, do not flock with each other at all. Like, really not like that. Like, it was real contentious. Damn near like, you can say he cut him, he demanded a trade, whatever. They could not be in the same locker room with each other. So my question is Nick Sirianni compromising his core values at the sake of what? Like, Matt Patricia? You're going to bring this into this locker room? So that's how I feel on that side of it. You know how I do around times. I'm going to test both sides. And I'm going to be talking out of both sides of my mouth. It's what I do. Because I have to break it down with y'all. This is my therapy. Emphasis on the E for the EHLES. You know what I mean? So I'm going to break it down. So on one end, you're like, that's crazy. It feels like we're compromising one of our core values, that being connection, right? On the other end, it's nipply outside. Turn this thing around. So then on this other side, right? I'm like, you know what? Maybe because Nick is a very smart dude. Everything he does seems to have a purpose. Last year, it seemed like the organization was a bit in coddle mode. Like, they were coddling some of these players. They didn't do any extensions during the regular season. They didn't want to ruffle any feathers in that locker room. Guys looking like, oh, he got an extension. How come I ain't getting no extension? Which can come and bite you in the ass at the end of the day. But anyway, it seemed to work for that locker room. We didn't want to upset the apple cart. Let's keep this tip running smoothly. This is working. Let's keep this thing going. We ain't gonna, don't rock the boat type, but you know what I'm saying? Don't flock the boat. So, looking at it like that, like, okay, this season, these guys may be getting comfortable. We got to let them know that this thing is still real. Just something to wait to, break up the monotony, switch up the gears and change the air, change the atmosphere just a little bit to get these guys going to where you want them to be going. He said he spoke to Slay, and I mean, I don't know any man in this. So, I mean, there's people there. I just know me. I know how I would have probably handled the way Slay handled it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about, you can't hire that man and da-da-da. And it's initially in the moment, that's how you're going to feel. Like, by all means, bring him over. Then there's that day-to-day, man. Seeing this dude every day, you're like, damn, I should have said something. I just know the way I rock. This is happening on other occasions. Like, I'm still going to do my work. But it's just something, it's a change in the air, it's a change in the atmosphere. Like, I might want to leave now. What? So there's that side of it. Maybe Nick Sirianni's just changing up the atmosphere just a little bit, trying to get these guys going in a different way. Matt Patricia is for all intents and purposes, a great football mind. He's got a handful of Super Bowl rings from being with the Patriots. I mean, defensive coordinator for the Patriots is almost like being offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. Like, what are you really doing? You're rocking with Andy Reid and you're rocking with Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we really doing here? Albeit, we've seen them guys come from under Andy Reid. Well, Andy Reid's, we all know about Andy Reid's coaching tree is way greater than Bill Belichick's. But, you've had the Doug Pease go on to win Super Bowls. You know what I mean? So, something to be said about that. As far as Bill Belichick, those guys go, they leave, they do nothing. Like, bum juice. You got him over there with Detroit. He's up out of Detroit. I mean, we could go down the list, but it's not really the time or place for that. Who cares? Y'all know the history of assistant quarterbacks, coordinators leaving the Patriots and going to other teams and failing miserably. Like, I think he might have one success story somewhere in there. Like, whatever. We're not here for that. Just saying, damn, I'm really not talking out the other side of my mouth yet. Like, I can't. He's got experience. He's got Super Bowl experience. You may see that as getting over the hump. He's definitely got experience in going against and beating Patrick Mahomes. So, that's a plus on that side. Something changing up the atmosphere in the room. So, it could be a good thing. Nick Sirianni, like, I trust this dude. He seems to be a smart dude. He seems to make the right decision more often than not. And even if he does, and that's another thing too. If this does end up being a disaster, I don't see him having any problem at all pivoting from this and moving on. It's just what he does. We came in with one thing with his first year with Jalen Hurts and all that. Things wasn't working out. Switch it up. We in the playoffs. So you know what? To that end, I have belief in this whole situation as a whole. Outside looking in, I believe it can work out. And if it doesn't work out, it will still work out. You know what I'm saying? But here's another thing. Just one last quick little Oh, bro, it's Maniac Monday, yo. Yeah, forgot about that. But yeah, happy Maniac Monday. So we've got this 10th pick. We bring in Patricia. The event. Could we be looking to shop Slay as a trade piece? A trade to possibly Baltimore, because they was on him. They want him, and after the draft might be able to work something out. And say we draft like a Christian Gonzalez, you know what I'm saying? Or what's the dude's name? Davenport, I believe. It's like, bruh, there's be some things going on here, man. Like I love Slay, man. Don't get it twisted. This is my guy. You feel me? But I don't know. I just think some inner workers are working in the works. Like I don't know things. It's just a weird thing for us to do, especially connection being one of our core values. And those dudes, for lack of a better term, were highly disconnected. Like I don't know. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Just the Patricia thing, I forgot to touch on it last week, and clearly I needed a bit more time than what I had earlier in the week, last week rather. So that's just my 2 cents on the Patricia thing. Leave down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about that, man. And then what else did I say we was gonna get into? We got the Matt Patricia, and then of course, let's took this thing back around to Derrick Henry. The Derrick Henry thing, man. It was all over. My boy, what's his name? Gordo Flacco hits me up yesterday. Like, was it yesterday or the other night? What up? The night before. He's like, Saturday night. This Derrick Henry thing's going around. I'm like, what? What? All caps. What? Like I don't even know how to process that. I went so far as saying Derrick Henry with us, and I hate throwing this SB word around, but I'm trying to get off that, with this therapy, the emphasis on the E. I'm trying to get rid of this superstition thing because it can't have an effect. Say what the fuck I want to say, right? The fuck. So you got dare I say, Derrick Henry on the Eagles, guaranteed Super Bowl, right? Like, well, what? What are we doing? Like, I can't even process it. Like, and I don't want to because prior to him sending me that text, and then he's like, it's all over on Check Online. And I was dying laughing. Like, I can't remember the last time I heard someone say Check Online. It just, I don't know, for whatever reason, tickled me. Had me dying, right? Rolling on the floor. So, got Derrick Henry with us. And then Friday, I saw Derrick Henry to Dallas. I saw another one, Derrick Henry going here, Derrick Henry going there. So I'm like, you're bugging, you're wilding. But then once again, he said, check online. I look online, I see he's like, it's all over the place. People like really, really talking about this. Bijan Miller, I believe he had something to say about it. Mark Schefter. I'm flocking names up bad right now. I know it, right? Shefty. You know what I mean? Is his first name Mark? I don't know. Shefty has something to say about it. I'm like, oh, people are really talking about this like it's really a thing. Then today, prior to me hopping on here, I was like, read something, article headline said, this is not happening. Get the flock out of here. So anyway, that's all was on the outside. Inside the mind of the Maniac, I was going crazy. Like Derrick Henry coming here would be crazy. Then, you got to think about trade. What's the trade going to cost? Then not to mention we're going to have to pay him. And then I hear this. Someone's like, and then, of course, you see all the polls going up. Bijan to Derrick Henry. I was like, give me Derrick Henry yesterday. You know what I mean? That's a proven commodity. Let's get it. Da-da-da. Then after all of that, I see this. Derrick Henry is 29 years old, y'all. Now, albeit he's an outlier as far as running backs go. With 29 years old, though, as a running back, and he's still doing work. And the way how much they have used him, we would not use him anywhere near as much. So, that would be crazy. So we're talking, about $10.5 million in monetary compensation, then possibly having to extend him. But knowing he's coming here with a chance to win a championship, we could probably put that on the back burners for a second. You're able to get on a Super Bowl contender by flocking with us. So, you might have not too much backfeed feedback or anything as far as that goes. He wouldn't be upset about, just playing out the year, playing out the contract, right? Then I'm thinking, what would we have to give up, this, that, and the third? It's 29 years old, though, man. Like, yeah, Yeah, I don't know. You could give me Bijan at 64. Hell yeah, I'll take that over Derrick Henry. Yeah, I'm still stuck on that, right? But to me, it would make better sense, say for instance, after the Titans start 0-6, you know what I mean? 2-5, something like that, and they're looking to unload him, trade him, pick him up then. We're paying half the salary. Less conversation. We probably just get him as a salary dump at that point, you know what I mean? They're like a 5th, 6th round pick or something, you know? So I see it more as something as a midseason thing. Prior to the season, I'm not so sure, but man, the way Howie moves, man, we never know. Howie's out here waving that magic wand. Howie busting the stupid dope moves. I can't wait. We're only 3 days away, y'all. Hyped. But until the next time, make it your best time. In the meantime, between time, keep it a green time. You already know what we got around this time about this time. We got questions, yo. We got questions. What is Howie gonna do? I don't know what Howie's gonna do. There's only 3 days left to figure out what Howie's gonna do. Do you know what Howie's gonna? I don't know what's gonna. What is Howie gonna? What is Howie busting the Super Bowl? What is Howie gonna? How is Howie gonna wave that magic wand? Working some magic, bro. But the main question is for everybody out there. You know what it is. What are you gonna do when Eagle Mania swoops down and runs wild on you? Play my music, gangster. EAGLES Eagles. Let's go, y'all. Can't wait. 3 days.
Howie, get it done.
Get it done.